What if I told you the best photographers in the world are actually thieves? No, really. Every great artist, from painters to musicians, even us photographers, are thieves. We steal, and that is why they're successful. Today I'm going to show you why stealing in photography isn't just normal. It's essential for growth. Don't worry, I'm not talking about actual plagiarism. I'm talking about something way more powerful. Let's get into it. There's a famous quote: "Good artists copy, great artists steal." And you know who said that? Picasso, one of the most legendary painters of all time. And he wasn't even alone. In more modern times, Steve Jobs repeated this line when building Apple, because innovation always comes from borrowing and transforming ideas. Even in music, you hear it all the time. The Beatles stole ideas from blues musicians, hip artists sample beats, and filmmakers, well, we borrow stuff all the time. Some of the most classic movies are just repeated over and over and over again. Photography, it's no different. If you look at photographers from past till present, they are all stealing from somebody. If you go back to Henri Bresson, some would consider him the master of iconic street photography. But he took inspiration from painting and geometry, stealing ideas from Renaissance paintings and other art to create his iconic street style. If you look at Ansel Adams, he didn't invent landscape photography. He studied and improved on techniques that prior photographers did. Many consider him to be one of the greatest, yet he got his ideas from someone else. If you look at portrait photographers like Annie Leibovitz, she studied classical paintings and Hollywood glamour, borrowing lighting techniques to create her signature portrait style. And modern photographers like Brandon Wolfel, the neon lit portrait style, that style existed before him. He took inspiration from cyberpunk aesthetics and made it his own. And then there's me. When I was a tattoo artist for 20 years, I stole ideas all the time. But not in a bad way. A client would come in with some reference photos, and instead of copying it, we'd just remix it. We would just remix it. Change the colors, add some personal touches, try and make it unique. That's exactly what I do as a photographer, and that's what other photographers should be doing. Stealing ideas and making them your own. What's the difference between stealing and copying? Now let's be clear. Copying is not stealing. Copying is just recreating something without adding anything new. Stealing is about taking inspiration, understanding why something works, and then making it your own. Think of it kind of like cooking. You might follow a recipe, but you add your own spices to taste. You make it unique. So, what does this mean? Steal like a pro. You gotta study the greats. Look at the work of legends. Reverse engineer it. Take their shots and see, why do they work? Is it lighting, composition, emotion? Or is it editing after the fact? What I recommend is combining multiple influences. Take a little bit from here, take a little bit from there, mix those styles, and create something fresh. You know, they say that there is nothing new, but if you take from several different sources, how could it not be new? How to steal like a pro. Well, try and make it look like you didn't steal. Take a little bit from this inspiration, take a little bit from that inspiration. Put your twist on it. Change the lighting, change the subject, change the mood. If it's a girl in the reference piece, maybe use a guy. If it's super dark and moody, maybe make it a little bit more on the light and airy side. Put your twist on it. So the next time you see a photo that you love, don't be afraid to steal it. Change it. Make it yours. Break it down. Understand why that photo works, and use your knowledge to improve your own photography. Steal from the greats to make your photography unique and better. Because in the end, all creativity is just remixing ideas that came before us. So the next time you see a photo that you love, don't be afraid to steal it. Don't be afraid to steal from it. But don't steal the whole image. Take the parts that you like the best and see how you can improve on them. See how you can become a better photographer just by taking some of the cues from the great ones before you. Because in the end, all creativity is just remixing from what we've seen in the past. We spend our lives mimicking everything, straight from birth. Why should photography be any different? Peace.